It's mid-April and the outside temperature has dropped to 57 degrees after 3 days of being in the 70s. And right now it is 57 degrees and almost noon. And inside the greenhouse it reads 75 degrees, which is pretty warm, and there's quite a bit of humidity in here. And this is what the greenhouse looks like at the moment. Several plants abundantly growing. Lots of peppers, opal squash, more peppers here, and several varieties of tomatoes and okra. And there's more peppers here, yard-long beans, more varieties of cucumbers and jalapeno. Chayote squash vine is doing well. I have this the roly-poly is chewing up on this section here. Despite that, it seems to be growing. I don't know how it's going to hold up once the weight of the vine gets heavier. But there are a few more stems coming out from the base of the plant, so I'm hoping one of them will take off. So these are the roly-polies trying to see what to eat. And I have yard-long beans. You can see one insect just chewing on the stem, and this is how I lost 3 of the yard-long beans. They seem to be attacking the base of the plant, and I have applied diatomaceous earth, and it looks like I have to do one more application of it, because as I water it, the effectiveness seems to be gone. These are some of the overwinterized peppers. They have produced lots and lots of fresh green growth. They're doing very well. Again, I have to apply diatomaceous earth for aphids, and they seem to be pretty effective. A couple of days during the warm weather, I let them sit out, and there seems to be not much of aphids on these plants. There's quite a bit of, although I see some here, I think I need to do some treatment. And there's quite a bit of flower production as well. So should start seeing some peppers soon. So you see some fresh flowers, and the things forming, the peppers forming. These are nice jumbo beets, and still a lot of carrots left here. And this is the cilantro that has bolted and gone to seed. The celery in the back seems to be doing very well, likes the hot humid temperature here. Although it's a cool season crop, I don't know when it might start to bolt because of the extreme heat, so I'm just gonna let it sit till it does that. A volunteer tomato plant in a little clay pot. Varieties of eggplant that I'm planning to grow in containers. These are 5-gallon containers, and I will be trying to overwinterize them this year. This is the ricotta pepper, another variety of tomato, and lots of flower production. These are the bitter gourd vines. They love this place and they have taken off really well. Very excited about this. I have about 6 vines there, and they are planted in big 10-gallon pots, so it should hold up well, because last year I did that and I got a very good supply of bitter gourd. The yard-long beans are doing well here. This is another variety that a friend gave me, so I'm growing them here in a pot, again a 10-gallon pot. And this is the opal squash or the lauki vines, and again in a 10-gallon pot. I'm going to let it sit in there. These are more tomatoes outgrowing their pots and almost going to flower. Some of them are already putting out flowers. And this is another section of baby plants. Various varieties of eggplants, and this is a mulberry that I had purchased online. lots of varieties of peppers. These are mostly the bell pepper varieties of King of North, Sunbright, Cal Wonder. Let's see what these are. This is the Horizon Bell. This is the Jimmy Nardello. This is the Sunbright pepper. There's more of the bottle gourd vines that are growing in here, and they actually love this humid greenhouse. They're one of the prolific vines that are you know, liking this kind of warm temperature. Here are one is a desi squash and another is a yellow squash. They need to be transplanted out because I see them putting out flowers, which is not a very good indicator. They're outgrowing the pot size, which are small 3-inch pots, and yeah, they do need to go out in the ground. These are other more varieties of tomatoes. This is the Get Stuffed tomato, which is a stuffing variety, and although they don't produce a whole lot, they are extremely delicious, so I just love it. So I'm growing more of these this year because last year a plant just produced maybe at the most a dozen tomatoes. So this year I'm going to plant them in multiple containers as well as in the ground, and do another test. And they do produce very many seeds. It's like hardly you get 4 or 5 seeds per tomato at the end of the season. So it's not one of those seedy types. This is an Aruna hot pepper, which is an Indian variety of chili. San Marzano paste varieties of tomatoes, and these are the curry leaf plants that I grew from seeds from my curry leaf plant. That's the greenhouse tour for today, and again today is April 16th, and many of these plants I will be starting to move them out in the ground, and also probably moving out the 10-gallon pots outside of the greenhouse so that the temperature fluctuations during the day don't impact them too much. And here's a Tindora plant, Tindora root that you see there. It hasn't woken up from dormancy. I'm waiting for it to, so I'm hoping it does, so I can have lots and lots of Tindora. Right, thank you, and have fun gardening.